Joining us now is another believer in treatment for these kids with a different perspective on the ability to get it right. Yale University School of Medicine Dr. Meredithe McNamara.
Yale's Liberal Activist Network.
There's so much diversity and joy in these experiences when space is held for who they are in clinical settings.
So it's everybody outside in their life that can make it hard on them.
Yeah, it's all
so
external.
you have a lot of people who come and it's not, I'm going to die unless I do this. It's not in extremis.
No.
And in terms of the concern that, yeah, but when they're young, they don't know. And you should wait. We wait with kids on everything else. We don't let them make decisions about where they're going to go to college, let alone what their identity is. Response?
My response is that kids know their genders. Unequivocally, cisgender kids know their genders, and transgender kids know their genders, and there shouldn't be really a difference between them. Think about how sure you felt of your gender from some of your earliest childhood memories. It's no different. The confusion comes from external factors in our society that impose cisgender normativity on young people. One thing that I like to say is, like, what does it cost you to just affirm who they say they are?
So, right, the discussion gets more complicated when it's affirm plus let them take this hormone blocker or stall puberty and they want to have a top surgery or a bottom surgery. That becomes more complicated for the parent, though, right? Because it has more implications for the kid's health. A lot of it's unknown about what it would mean.
I wouldn't say that a lot of it is unknown. You know, we are in a very exciting phase in gender-affirming care where we're learning more and more all the time. It also happens to be a time when that care is sought to be banned in various states throughout the country.
Right.
And people are trying to ban it on the basis that we don't have enough information, supposedly, and that feels deeply hypocritical. Why introduce regulations and rules that limit our ability to provide care on the basis that maybe there are unknowns? It just seems like there's something missing there.
They'll say do no harm, which means do nothing.
Do nothing is doing harm.
I'm a professor of Yale.
You've said that we've cherry-picked data. How do you mean by how do you mean that?
So it is very unscientific and flawed to pick a single study or a single statistic and to discuss it in isolation.
Totally agree.
Medical experts are able to talk about all of the evidence as a whole.
Totally agree. So it's good to look at systematic reviews, right? That's the gold standard of evidence when you're trying to understand whether something works or whether it doesn't. So the British Journal of Medicine looked at 61 systematic reviews with the conclusion that, quote, there is great uncertainty about the effects of puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries in young people. The Journal of Endocrine Society came up with the same conclusion, even the American Academy of Pediatrics. They all cite the lack of evidence. And so here's the thing. If you're doing a therapy, and it's, you know, temporary, whatever, fine, maybe let's try it, let's see if it works. But when you're talking about permanent physiological changes, do you not agree, just from an ethical standpoint, that you might want extremely strong evidence of the benefits? And there is no systematic review that states that there is strong evidence of benefits.
Sir, are you aware of how the quality evidence grading system works and how it's applied?
Yeah, we've read through it. That's why I'm citing these journals. So which journal says something different? We should have that debate. Tell me a journal that has done systematic reviews that cites different evidence, that cites strong evidence for benefits of these therapies.
The standards of care were developed based on extensive...
You're not telling me any journal, you're not telling me any study. Don't say standards of care.
Yeah. So...
Tell me one.
The standards of care.
That's the standards of care. That's not a journal, that's not a study. That's not an organization, that's not an institution. You're just saying words. Name one study.
Yeah.
I'm out of time. I yield back.